The first thing you do when you come to somewhere like the men's shed is you laugh and say hello to somebody.
A good sense of well-being.
It's given me skills that I never had before.
From surgeons to school teachers, truckies to tradies, everyone's welcome at Tauranga's men's shed. It's a place to keep the spirits up and mind busy at a stage in life when it's perhaps needed the most.
We have a Christmas party every year, and the number of wives that come up to me and say, thank you for the men's shed, it gets them out of the house for one day. And that's the main thing it is. It gives men somewhere to go. It started by Dave Harper about 14 years ago. He saw the need for men's mental health. It was originally set up for only retired men, but now we have any man that has a need for the men's shed. It's somewhere where the men can come and they can socialise, they can do work for the community, they can do projects for themselves. Men's mental health is a major issue. Although it's acknowledged in New Zealand by the government, there's no subsidy, no money comes to the men's shed. We have to raise our own funds, sell all our own produce.
We work towards it all our lives, but once there, adjusting to retirement can take some time.
Spent my whole life in construction, working with steel, and I needed somewhere to go because I was getting, after I retired, I was stressed out. I really had a stress issue.
So I'm hoping that when I get to retirement age, it's feet up.
Well, the problem with being feet up is that it don't last for 6 months, then you get bored.
It's a big change to go from working 40 hours a week or whatever it was, and no matter what occupation, whether you're a doctor or whatever, truck driver, that's still a big change when you retire. They feel useful by doing work for the community. They're using their hands and they feel as if they've got some use to the community. It's a little bit different than going to like a retirement club or an old club where they just sit around and talk. Here they're using their hands, they have to think, keeps them active.
One 87-year-old was recently shoulder tapped to fix something quite important.
I'm working on fixing up the old letterbox of the Elms. I was approached by one of the ladies who worked down there. I had already done calligraphy for her. She knew all about my woodwork, and they'd had a meeting and wanted to tidy up and get everything ready for the coming season. So anyway, I went down and we brought it back. Well, when we were taking off, it just fell to bits. It's rotted out. So I've had to make a new one, sort of thing, and that's where we're up to now. We're painting it, getting it ready so I can put the roof and everything on.
What does the men's shed give you?
Well, for a start, it gives me an opportunity for camaraderie, discuss all sorts of things. And also, you're working together with others all doing different jobs. We all have different talents, and if you're not sure of something, you always ask somebody, and that's where I find a good sense of well-being.
Around 50% of the shed's income comes from the various toys the men produce.
We have our own little shop, so we make all our own toys and bits and pieces that go in the shop. We also do a lot of work for schools, play centres, kindergartens, brain injury trust, St John's ambulance, rescue helicopter. And we do a lot of work for the elderly who have damaged furniture that they can't afford to have repaired by a carpenter, but they can bring it here and we'll fix it up and get them going again.
I do an exploding toilet, which has got a mouse trap inside it, and you open the door and the thing flies to bits. Which has been very popular.
Have you got one here?
Yeah, I have that in the shed. The first thing people do is they come along and open the door. And it explodes.
For many, the men's shed is an important space that helps ward off the isolation of retirement.
I came here and like-minded guys, and it's just been great. It's been fantastic.
What's it given you?
Oh, it's given me confidence. It's given me skills that I never had before. Friendships, and we can just talk about things. You know, we have a cup of tea and and talk about things that happen to older blokes.
But having somewhere to go and something to do doesn't just benefit these men.
I joined the men's shed to help my wife's mental health, basically. When I retired, I found myself sitting at home doing not as much and gradually getting less and less. That was 3.5, 4 years ago. It does sound great to be retired and to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Hobbies become quite important. You can do all sorts of things on your own, but it's actually pretty beneficial to speak to people.
There are 124 men's sheds across the country. To find one near you, check out nzherald.co.nz.
Gives me something to get up for in the morning, brightens your day from the beginning.
Gavin Ogden, Local Focus.